Hey co-stars, welcome to another episode of Generation Films. My name is British Ben, and you guys know how much I love ranting about the shows Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard, now how I feel Star Trek is essentially dying. Now don't get me wrong, they are cool shows for other reasons, but they simply aren't Star Trek, okay? They don't contain the spirit of Star Trek. But there is one show that has really struck a chord with dissatisfied Trekkies who are rewatching Deep Space Nine for the third time rather than subjecting themselves to Star Trek Discovery. This show has delivered nostalgia to old school Star Trek fans, and I'm not talking about Star Wars Force Awakens type nostalgia where you make the exact same movie about a guy in a black helmet and a super weapon that needs to be blown up. No, I'm talking about witty nostalgia that still incorporates new ideas, and that show is of course Star Trek Lower Decks. Now one reason why this show is so popular with old school Trekkies is that it is packed full of Easter eggs and references to some of the most classic things from Star Trek The Next Generation and other shows. And in this video, I want to take you through some of the episodes in season 2 and give you examples of this. So the show really starts with a bang, with Mariner being interrogated by the Cardassians. Editor, like, we've made that joke before. Seriously, just roll the clip, all right? It starts with Mariner being interrogated by the Cardassians. You'll notice the background in this room is exactly the same as in the classic Next Generation episode Chain of Command, where Picard is interrogated by the Cardassians. As she fights her way out, she passes Boimler, who says,
"You gotta get me out of here. They keep showing me lights."
Which is a reference to Picard's iconic line from that episode.
There are 4 lights!
Picard uttered this line when his torturer was trying to make him crack and say that there were 5 lights when there were only 4. Patrick Stewart actually consulted with human rights organization Amnesty International when researching how to play a character who had been subjected to torture. And people who lived under dictatorships, after watching the episode, have said it's very accurate as well. It went down as one of Picard's, or Patrick Stewart's, most iconic performances as Captain Picard. The performance has gone down as one of his best, and on a lighter note, it provided plenty of material for internet memes, a lot of them. The next we have a reference to strange energies.
I'm reading the build-up of strange energies.
This was a reference to Gary Mitchell, a lieutenant commander in the original series who was hit by what is described as strange energies and gained superpowers. Then we have this gag, which I think is really funny.
Ruined our museum of popular music.
Hey, that sounds like something you don't need.
They don't need it because unless you're watching Star Trek Discovery where... yeah, they kind of listen to hip hop, but in most Star Trek shows, no one listens to music that was created after the 1950s. Then I also love this reference.
Me and a couple girls from Cetacean Ops are going swimming. Want to join?
Now, Cetacean Ops was only referenced in the Star Trek Enterprise D technical manual and also on the blueprints, which show cetaceans or dolphins in tanks on the Enterprise labeled Cetacean Ops. The dolphins were mentioned in 2 episodes, but it's not some kind of swim with dolphins tank. Here's an artist's impression. It's more of a research facility where scientists learn how dolphins maneuver in a 3D fluid and apply that research to maneuvering a starship through space. But now I'm imagining it more like this, like women in bikinis swimming with dolphins. Yeah, I know that's not a real dolphin. So yeah, Cetacean Ops is now a perpetual pool party in my mind. Thanks, Lower Decks. In the second episode of season 2, the Cerritos is sent to catalog items in a collection of a collector who has died. Now this is referencing the Star Trek The Next Generation episode The Most Toys, in which a collector tries to collect Lieutenant Commander Data. There are some funny references in the collection, such as this one.
Kalus's fornication helmet.
Kahlus was the legendary Klingon warrior who all Klingons worship like a god, and I do not know what he was doing with that helmet. Neither do I want to know. Then we also see this headpiece in the collection. It's from the Star Trek The Next Generation episode The Game, in which this computer game hypnotizes the entire crew of the Enterprise and turns them against each other. Oh, and what's that? A few cases of Chateau Picard. Now in this episode we also get to say a little bit of what the USS Titan, Riker's ship, looks like, since Boimler was transferred there at the end of season 1 and he is still there. I love how they really emphasize the Sovereign class aesthetic from Star Trek First Contact aboard the Titan, rather than the more high-key Galaxy class aesthetic that we see aboard the Cerritos. And we actually get to see the Titan in action against the Packlids, which is a joke in and of itself because the Packlids were really useless in the Next Generation. Now they're apparently the main enemy. And those scenes really give me hope that we could one day see a live-action series about the Titan with Jonathan Frakes playing Captain Riker aboard his ship. I mean, it's just a glimmer of hope, but at least it's something.
You're my only hope.
At least I can now imagine a little bit what it would be like. Then in episode 3 of season 2, we see Boimler talking about Voyager like this.
I have signatures from all the other bridge crew, from Janeway all the way down to Kim. Everyone from Voy.
Why do you keep saying Voy?
That's what I call Voyager to save time.
Yeah, just like we abbreviate Star Trek Discovery to STD. You all do that, right? I mean, it makes more sense than disco. Also in episode 3, there are references to 2 other classic species from Star Trek. First, we have this pool game with the Nausicaans. That's the species that stabbed Picard in the heart in the Next Generation episode Tapestry. And then we have the Orions, those green-skinned aliens that have appeared in numerous episodes and movies. Remember this girl? Yeah, I thought she'd be the only one that you'd remember. Dirty mind. Anyway, Star Trek Lower Decks has saved me from the overdramatic and underwhelming mess that is Star Trek Discovery and Star Trek Picard. Lower Decks celebrates the Star Trek tropes that we know and love rather than turning them on their heads. And it gives me hope that they'll eventually fire Alex Kurtzman and continue the story of the classic Rick Berman era Star Trek. Guys, leave your comments about this below. I'd love to hear what you think. Subscribe to our channel if you are new. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.